Alright dear friends, here you can see the MetaTrader platform. From the indicators section on the left, I'm going to add the CCI Commodity Channel Index to the chart. I won't change its settings for now. I'll just increase the line thickness a bit so you can see it better in the video. I'll leave the colors as they are and make the levels a bit darker. Changing them to black should improve visibility. As you can see, the oscillator has been added to our chart. Let me enlarge it a bit so you can see it better. This oscillator uses price and moving average in its calculation formula. So how does it calculate and draw this line for us? It uses price and moving average. Nothing too complex or unusual. This indicator was created by a man named Donald Lambert, and today it's very popular among analysts, just like other oscillators such as RSI, MACD, and stochastic. You may have heard its name frequently. This oscillator has a middle line that is set at 0. You can see the 0 line here. It's a very faint dashed line, so it might not be clearly visible in the video, but if you add this oscillator to your own chart, you'll definitely see it. The middle line is set at 0, and there's a lower line at -100 and an upper line at +100, showing the oscillator's fluctuations within this range. As you can see, I've made the -100 and +100 lines black and a bit thicker so you can see them better in the video. Most of the fluctuations occur between these two lines, within the -100 to +100 range. Sometimes it breaks out of these levels, but for the most part, the fluctuations are shown within this range. This oscillator, like other oscillators such as MACD and RSI, can provide us with good buy and sell signals. However, as I always emphasize, we shouldn't rely on a single indicator for trading decisions. Nonetheless, it does have its own applications. I'll explain step by step how we can get good signals from it and what its applications are, so it can serve as a confirmation tool for our analysis, and we can use it alongside our primary analysis. Alright, one of the key applications of this oscillator is that it effectively shows us overbought and oversold levels. As I mentioned before, the range from -100 to +100 is crucial here. Whenever the oscillator line moves outside of this range, it indicates overbought or oversold conditions. It works similarly to oscillators like stochastic or RSI, where the overbought and oversold zones are usually set at levels like 20 and 80 or 30 and 70 within a 0 to 100 range. Here in the CCI, those levels correspond to -100 and +100. When the line drops below 100, it indicates oversold conditions. In such cases, we expect the trend to reverse and buyers to step in. On the other hand, when the line crosses above +100 like here, it indicates overbought conditions, suggesting that the price might turn downwards. So one of the main uses of this oscillator is to identify overbought and oversold levels. Alright, let me clear these lines first. Now let's move on to the next application. Another useful feature of this oscillator is that we can draw trend lines directly on its chart, just like we do on candlestick charts. From these trend lines and their breakouts, we can get trading signals. I have shown this technique before in my older videos using the RSI, but we can do the same thing here. For example, we can connect two peaks or two troughs, either one works. Look, when we connect these points here, we can see that at some point the CCI chart broke this trend line and moved upwards. When this happens, the same pattern can usually be observed on the main price chart, where we see the start of an uptrend. Similarly, we can connect the lows as well. For instance, we can see that the CCI chart broke this trend line downwards, and a downtrend followed after that. So, this is another application of the CCI indicator, drawing trend lines directly on the indicator itself. However, It's essential not to rely solely on this signal for opening trades. It can serve as a confirmation for our analysis, but not as a standalone signal. For example, if we look at this point here, we can see that the CCI line touched this trend line several times. When it finally broke below the trend line, a bearish move occurred, which was followed by a series of red downward candles. So, this is another way we can use the CCI indicator. Now, let's move on to the next application. Like the RSI or MACD, the CCI can easily help us identify divergences. With this oscillator, spotting divergences is quite straightforward. For example, if we consider this area, we can connect these two peaks on the candlestick chart, and we see that the price forms a lower high. But if we look at the same area on the CCI chart and connect these points, we see that it's forming a higher high. So this is an example of a divergence, and it's very easy to spot using the CCI. The shape and form of the CCI are quite similar to the RSI, with just a few differences. Some of my friends had requested a detailed introduction and tutorial on this oscillator, and this video is dedicated to that. I didn't go into depth about divergences here and only illustrated their shape, as I've already discussed divergences in detail in previous videos. You can find those videos on the channel, where you'll get familiar with the different types of divergences. But the most important point, which I must emphasize again, is that indicators should never be the sole basis for our trades. However, as a supplementary tool, they can be very helpful in our analysis and decision-making process. Dear friends, to make sure you don't miss any of our videos, please subscribe to the BS Academy channel. Also, activate the notification bell so that you are informed as soon as we publish new videos. Thank you for your support. To easily and freely register with the Quotex broker, click on the link in the video description.